I recently been doing some contemplation about people's dependency upon cellular telephones.
Yeah, man, me too. I really noticed that everyone always seems to be on their mobile device instead of really being in the moment.
Exactly. And I feel like this is a very significant...
Hello. How are you? How's your Saturday? I'm trying not to touch too much. I might mess around and knock everything off. How's everything going with you today? All right. Man, I was just sitting back thinking about our Friday, and I had such a great time. This song that I have playing is called Get Off the Cell Phone, or Get Off the Phone song. I hope, can you hear it? I try to find something all different. Oh my goodness. My day was a little busy, but enjoyable. How about yours? I'm still laughing. Yeah, I will tell you. And since I have not been connected to it as much, I'm seeing a difference. I'm actually getting things done. I think it's just so funny how we can just get so attached to it and don't even realize we're attached to it to the degree that we are. I mean, just getting in the car, that's one of the things, the first thing I noticed, getting in the car, picking up the phone. Like, what? I mean, I think these guys that made this song, they ain't have too much. They had too much time on their hand and a lot of money, but they have a ton of viewers.
Hey guys, I'm on the set of our music video. There's Rhett. What?
Yes.
Thanks for watching our video. Check out.
Man, hey guys, I just tried to do something just funny, just something funny, and I liked it. I looked at a couple of things, and when I was choosing the songs, I looked at what was the guy named Trey Song, and I just put in cell phones just to see what would come up. I didn't think that I would actually find anything that pertained to cell phones, and sure enough, it did. So when you think about it, just about anything, people are just taking anything and making music out of it. So again, that is Get Off the Phone song. Get Off the Phone song. It does not say who the artist is, so I don't know who that is. And the sucker has like over 12 million viewers. Just for that song. So what that says to me, from a marketing perspective, from a business perspective, whatever idea you have, you just go after it. Whatever idea you have, go after it, because it's sort of like saying, like what we've all heard, no question is a dumb question unless you fail to answer it, or ask it rather. And so with looking at the amount of viewers these guys have, and as we already know, just to get over a certain amount, you're picked up by Google, you're picked up by advertisers, you're picked up. So think about that passion. So I'm not going to really talk about marketing and business and all that, so we're going to get on to our topic. How is everyone tonight? It is so good to see you. So far, I see Liz. I don't know if we all just having a full night or what. You never know. Yeah, exactly. You never know. And I just said the same thing to someone I was like, gosh, there's so many ideas I had, and I just kept playing with different things till I found, just to try to find out what's going to work. And I still have not given up on all the dreams that I have. I'm working through them. Some things a little slower than others, but you know what? There's a purpose, there's a passion inside of each of us. We're going to find out what it is God has placed in there. Hey, Tiffany, how was your day? You a little sleepy? Praise God. Man, I've been inside all day long. Today I didn't do anything but clean. So, yeah, I have been a little laxed, and I just cleaned, and before I knew it, the whole entire day was gone. But let's wake up. My household is out. There's so many activities, so we are here flying solo. But ladies, let's have a good conversation, okay? So while you guys tell me tell me one positive thing about yourself, nobody else. Tell me one positive thing about yourself while I do all of the promos for the other channels, okay? Tonight's topic, we will all be discussing disconnect to reconnect. Disconnect to reconnect. The song again was Get Off the Phone song. I did not find an artist on it, and as you know, I do not own the rights to this song. My name is Juanita McDonald with Rediscover Me, and our purpose is to inspire women to rediscover the me that she wants to be. Rediscover Me stands on the 3 pillars of lost identity plus lost self-esteem equals lost purpose and direction. And so our primary focus, again, is to try to help women find their voice, cast out those mental allegories, and walk into that purpose that we each have. And sometimes we may not think we have it, but it's there. Just like what Liz and I were just talking about with the amount of viewers over this silly song. It was a very silly song, but I liked it. They really put it together, and they have over 12 million viewers. I love that your body is transforming. I'm so proud of you, Tiffany, and I mean, that's phenomenal. So we're gonna have to talk about that on a one-on-one when I come to Alabama this weekend. Rediscover Me's disclosure is to inform everyone that this is a community where women have the option, the purpose of just coming in and engaging in a safe environment. We encourage everyone to respect each other and to share, to help each other through any type of obstacles, discussions. Feel free, because again, everybody here is here for a purpose. We're looking to try to inspire everyone, encourage everyone to get through their day, to uplift them, and also, as I always say, we're here to help. I am not a licensed psychiatrist. I am a human behaviorist. I deal in the human behavior area. So basically, and my area of expertise is focusing on the mind and the mental allegories. But what I do know is that each and every one of us knows something that the other one don't. So when we come here into this community, you are presented with the option to present to them ways that we can get through any particular situation. So please feel free to chime in. But tonight's topic, I tried to make it fun. I tried to make it humorous. It is going, we will touch bases a little bit on identity, but I wanted this to try to be a fun night. So with that being said, ladies, let's get into everything. I found a quote that says, "Women are like cell phones. They like to be held and talked to. But push the wrong buttons and you will be disconnected." What do you think? Women are like cell phones. They like to be held and talked to, but push the wrong buttons and you will be disconnected. Good Lord, I just messed up my nail. So is that good? Do we love to be held? I do. Talk to, yes. Mess with me? Yes, you will be disconnected. So I can definitely say yes to that one. Yeah, Liz. We will put you on the side burner and probably roast you too. Yes, we are definitely like that. But on a more serious note, ladies, when I came across this, it was because of a conversation with my girlfriend. Yes, one of my older friends. She was sharing with me how, she's really old. I want to say she's somewhere in her late 60s now. And so when we went to lunch on Thursday, she talked about how, she's missing her family, how she doesn't, have that relationship with people like we used to have. And everybody is busy. And then when she have a conversation or get to talk to the grandchildren or the great grandchildren or someone, it's always on a cell phone. And so, and as I listened to her, the one thing that came to me and that was that we are losing a generation of people who are not going to know how to communicate. We're losing a generation of people who are not going to know how to communicate. And, so that triggered it. So basically, how important is communication to you? Let's start there. How important is communication to you? I can definitely say I'm engulfed in it. So because my family and I are all together, and so we're, there's always some form of talking. And so I cherish those quiet moments. And so, but then I also know I want to have that connection. I don't ever want to get to the point where I don't have that connection with my family. And so I guess that's where I'm going at. Well, how important is that cell phone and having that relationship with, having a relationship through a gadget? Is that important, or does that create a problem? Where are you at with that? I just realized something. I'm going to stick my finger up here, trying to check out something. Hopefully nobody will call. I forgot to put that thing on the do not disturb. And as I listen to her, we each go through these same things. I know I look at the fact that I'm getting older. I'm all over the place, and will I become the person that has to connect with family on a cell phone? And I hope that's not the case. I really do. I guess because I grew up just being so close and attached, and that was the thing with my mom. It was all about family unity. So with that, one of the other question that I had for you ladies as you were typing, the other thing that I thought about was how distracting are cell phones to us? How distracting are they? Do you have to start your day with your cell phone? I know majority of us, it's just such a convenience. I know it's such a convenience because I use mine for my alarm. I use it for my calendar that keeps everything going. And every time I look around, the girls want to get a bigger and a bigger phone. And I remember having a little flip phone, and then from the flip phone to, from the little tiny flip phone to this big old gadget now that I'm sitting here talking to you guys on. So it's like the phone keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I don't know, is that something that we are just so engrossed in, or what? I don't know if this thing is still, I don't think it's frozen. But yeah, that's what we deal with. We deal with those phones coming in. People have to have them, and they do serve a purpose. So it's not something that I'm talking about, we would just take away. But, to what degree do we, become so engrossed into a cell phone? And that's very intense. And so one of the things that I looked at was how people are becoming so distracted from cell phones. So I happen to take a good eye view at people walking down the street. And so when you see people walking down the street, half the time this is how they're walking, with their head and they're looking down at their phone. And so the next thing that I thought about was, how much do we fail to notice other people because we are engulfed into a cell phone. Liz say, I love quality conversation while engaging face to face. Yes. Sitting in a relaxed atmosphere. I don't care for texting so much. Liz, you hit it right there. It is above and beyond impersonal. It is not personal whatsoever. And as you know, on when we had our lunch date, God, man, I miss talking to you guys so much, because even though we have these sessions and we talk, it's nothing like having that touch, that feel, that love, you know, that unity, that sisterhood. It's nothing whatsoever. And I left there just feeling so happy and so, you know, radiated. But then, you know, it was like, wow, we have not done that in so long. And so I shared with somebody about that last night. So it's just one of those things that I think we are losing, and we're losing really bad. And to say and to share with you to the degree to share with you to the degree how we're it's getting. Let me I had an accident. Let me see when I had the accident. 16, December 2016, I think, or 15. But I was driving, you know, down a busy road, and I just so happened I was going to the same girlfriend I'm talking about that I had lunch with on Thursday, who's older. She asked me to come to her house. So she lived off of Broad River, which is a very busy road. And so as I was going to her house, I was going to take her some shoes I had gotten, and some other little things I was dropping off at her house. And so I had my grandboys with me, so they were in the back seat, and it was around Christmas, so it was December, so we were just driving down the road, just singing jingle bells, just singing and having fun. And so then all of a sudden, when I got to the section of the interstate by 20, getting ready to go through the light, it was really, there was a lot of traffic. There was already an accident up there. And so I'm going through the light, and this young girl who was turning to get onto the interstate slammed into me and pushed the car. And, you know, if it wasn't for the guardrail, we would have went over. So, and it deployed the airbags. It did all of that stuff. I mean, I've never been in an accident since I was a teenager, I believe. And so we were so scared and so shook up. And so, you know, when you're nervous, some things happen. So the firemen get there, and my grandson Michael, after he finished, you know, he started talking nervously. And so and the fireman says, "Is everyone all right? Did you know what happened?" And my grandson was like, yeah. My Brayla was on the phone. She was talking on the cell phone. And that girl hit us. And I stood there and I looked at him and I'm like, "Michael, are you sure Brayla was on the cell phone?" he said, "Yeah, Brayla, you were on the cell phone." I said, "Are you sure I was on the cell phone, or were we singing Jingle Bells?" And then he was like, "Oh yeah, we were singing Jingle Bells. That girl was on the cell phone." Needless to say, she did apologize. But, you know, for me, and I'm certain you think about it too, but for me, you know, getting in the car, and I noticed this after the accident, you know, just getting in the car and picking up the cell phone automatically. And now it's like, no, you cannot do that. You have to be conscientious and put it on the car speakerphone or put it in the dashboard, but never. Yeah, that's Michael's, Liz. That Michael will. Yes. And so I'm so thankful for the fireman, because he was like, "I don't think she would have been on the cell phone." And I just looked at him. I'm like, "Michael, are you sure? Or sure were we singing Jingle Bells?" So, but you know, it was funny. It was funny after, like 2 weeks after, but it wasn't funny at that particular moment because I was in pain. But it's a scary thing, and accidents happen. And so, and when you think about here in Columbia, we have so many accidents that are contributed, and I didn't pull those numbers, but they are contributed to the cell phone. So that goes to the next question about how, to what degree does a cell phone cause you to take your eye off of it? Or are you more like me now? And I learned the lesson from somebody else's mistake, so I'm very, very cautious. I try to be very, very cautious about the use of a cell phone. So are you more cautious about it, or do you find yourself automatically, like I said I used to do, just pick up the phone, crank up the car, pick up the phone, and checking it like it automatically is calling me, or maybe I want somebody to call. It doesn't matter. I don't know. That point of constantly calling, and as you're typing in, just think about how back when there were no cell phones, and I can say I know those. I had the cute little pink phone, that the rotary. I remember way back in the rotary days that we had a pink one, we had a black one, we had a blue one, and so going from that, I even remember having party lines at my grandmother's area of Columbia, Alabama. There were party lines, so our family members were on party lines, and so we could pick up the phone and listen to other people's conversations. So that was our form of entertainment. And so, with that, so have you had any funny experiences such as that with the phones? Or, that's my memory. What is your memory? I guess I should say, what is your memory as far as with being connected to a cell phone and having that form of dialogue? All right. Now, the other thing that I found that was so interesting when I was typing all of this up, there was a movie that I was watching, and on the movie, the guy was constantly texting the girl, and so it was like he had built up this, he was nervous, he was scared. I can respect that. But the whole entire time he was communicating through his gadget, and instead of him having a face-to-face conversation, and she also was connecting through her gadget, and her form of connection was the blind dating, and feeling like that's the only way to connect to another source. And so and it got me to thinking also, now, are we confined to gadgets and to the point that we have lost our sense of livelihood? And I'm saying this to say, human disconnect. When we can't connect with someone face to face, you lose that human disconnect. You become human disconnect. Yes, thank you, Tiffany. And that it is that form of separation. And I've known someone, like, just say for instance, if you and your mate and you're arguing, and the person doesn't really, when you're face to face, they barely have a conversation with you, but then they get away from you. Hey, Angela, but they get away from you, and then all of a sudden you're getting all these nasty text messages, and it's like, okay, weren't you just in my face? Why didn't you say something to me then? What is it you need to say? So is it more protective? I guess we should say, is it more protective to hide behind a gadget and have a conversation? Is it more protective to hide behind a gadget and try to have a relationship? Is it more, I guess not protective, but comfortable? Do you feel more empowered? Does it feel more comfortable? Is it more of that safe zone to communicate with other people? What do you think? Because I just look at people and shake my head, and I'm saying this because in the dating arena, this is what I seem to notice a lot. Hey, Angela, you had the grandbaby. Oh, yeah, that's why I said I'm solo in tonight, because all the family are out at the grandbaby's birthday party. So, and it's way over. You're like, I'm not driving way over there. So, but Tiffany says yes, cause some people are bullies and mean and hate behind a computer and a phone. Yeah, thanks for the hearts, Angela. Yeah, man, and I see that. I see that so easily. And you know, we already dealing with bullies in school, and that's a big plus there. Not in plus in a positive way, plus in a negative way, for people to get behind gadgets and intimidate other people and talk about people and put them down, and you know, all behind this little thing that I'm looking into. And so, and even with, you know, let's look at it from this other perspective. Just say, for instance, your privacy. You know, to what degree do you and I lose our privacy behind a cell phone? Grown-up bullies. Oh, okay. I have seen that too, and us. Sorry, my cousin calling in. I knew I told y'all I didn't do this right, but you know, it's sad to say that we as adults are on that level, and you know, and instead of just realizing, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that when we, you know, everybody doesn't mix well. I can respect that. You know, you and I, you know, I've met Miss Tiffany last year for the first time, and I love her spirit. She may not be connected with me. Angela, Liz, and I have been friends for years. Our children are friends, and they've, you know, it was a relationship that was developed. I just met Miss Tiffany, and I'm learning a lot about her. But you know, what if my spirit didn't connect with hers? You know, and could you just respect the fact that, you know, maybe we just don't, you know, it's just not meant to have a friendship. But some people don't even take that. They take it to a whole nother level and do things and say things that are just plain out ugly. Thank you, Mr. Tiffany. I was very connected with you too. I love your spirit. Liz says, I really try not to use my cell phone much while driving unless it is on speaker now, because leaving home on Saturday morning, I was talking while driving, and I was so engaged I really didn't pay attention. I didn't thought could have been there was a traffic crossing in front of me, and that scared. Yeah, exactly, Liz. That will scare you, and I don't, you, since you moved out further, I know you have noticed the degree of traffic. The traffic is, I think I read a report which said that Columbia has had like a rush of people moving in. And so, but I can see it through the traffic. And normally, because of Costco being in the neighborhood, I thought it might have just been because of Costco, but I don't think that's because of Costco. I know Costco played a factor, but I don't think it's to that degree. But yeah, it is more traffic, and so we have to take responsibility and be a lot more conscientious. And going back to what Miss Tiffany was saying, you know, and even finding our voice when people are doing negative things, bad things, and hurting people behind this darn gadget. You know, we have got to do those things, because I think, well, you know, there's no thinking it. I really get angry with people when I find them doing things and saying things to hurt other people. You're not going to do it in my presence. You know, whatever you do behind closed doors, that's your business, but don't ever do that in my presence, because I don't think I'll be too nice. I don't think I'll be too nice on that one. But yes. Now the other thing that I found is how much time Angela, let me back up. Angela says it makes you want to go back to the good old days. I used to know everybody's number, and I could hardly I could hardly know anybody's number without my. Yes, Angela, that's one of my questions. And I was going to ask, to what degree do we lose the retention of information? To what degree do we lose the retention of information? And I'm with you. If you ask me one of my children's phone number, I do not know it. I do not know their phone number by heart. I know the first three numbers of Mika's, I think. I know Renee's start with a 4. But that's it. I do not know anybody's number. Half the time, I don't even know my own. And so, it's a bad thing, because back then, I could call off numbers like this. I could call off social security numbers. I just had that memory. But Jen, think about it. We were forced to remember. We were forced to use our brain. And so now that brain has become relaxed. And so what you don't use, you lose. Add menopause to it, and it's double. Yes, add some menopause to it, and it will become double. It just takes it so much. And then on top of that, Angela, let's throw this one in here, because you and I are bad at it. To what degree does that cell phone distract us in church, ladies? I'm gonna throw us under the bus. To what degree does that cell phone distract us in church? Miss Pat would probably love to be on here with this one, Angela. Angela and I are normally getting in trouble by Miss Pat. Well, really, Angela. And then, and Liz said, we are made to use our mind less, and that's not good because of the, yes. Liz, it is so right. Yes. All the time we on trying to take, yes Miss Tiffany, we're back. We're so bad at it. That's why I told you guys the other day, if we get in trouble in church, if the bishop call us in the office, it's because of what we be doing, taking pictures, talking, passing notes. You would think we in school. But going back to Liz, you're right. Think of when you look at, because we're not using our minds, I'm wondering to what degree is that playing on us with Alzheimer's. Think about it. I don't recall Alzheimer's being to this degree as it is. Now, Liz, you are in the medical field. Tell us, if I don't know any medical terminology, I did not do any research on this, so I'm not saying that any of this is factual. I'm not saying that any of this is factual. I do not know what creates Alzheimer's. I'm just saying, out of a personal observation, do you think that do you see a difference or an increase in Alzheimer's, and to what degree, I wonder, is because we are not using our brain as we used to with memory, because we were forced to remember information, to retain information, to apply information, and I don't see us doing that. Like now, even when I write a paper, I think about as I'm writing that paper and injecting information into it. Google's my friend, and so I don't have to go to a book, read the encyclopedias, and then break everything down. I just Google it, and then once I Google it, I'm through. As long as I got a quote in there, a citation in there, I'm good. And so, to that, I think that, is affecting us mentally, to a great degree. It is affecting us mentally, and with that, we are missing out on a lot of things. And so, I know, and I'm going to inject this in. This is a little bit off. I'm going to inject this in. I would definitely encourage each of you to do as much mind exercise as possible. Yes, Angela, thank you. I truly encourage you to do as much mind exercise as possible, because My sister had an aneurysm several years ago. I want to say back in 2012, well, right before my brother or after my brother transitioned. But when she had her aneurysm and she came, they had to do the surgery quickly. And as she was rehabilitating, she did lose her speech. It was very slurry and her movement, but she regained all of that back very, very quickly. And so her doctor, when he came in, she loved to work puzzle books, those puzzle books, and she watched work a ton of them. And so my sister also has a slight, what they classified as mental retardation, but I don't claim that. But she had, when he came in, he asked her, he said, "Felicia, did you work this book?" And so my sister, being my sister, she came on the defensive, and she's like, "What do you mean? Who else you think worked this book?" So she had a few other words, but and he was like, "No, because of the type of surgery he as in his explanation, because of the type of surgery, because you had an aneurysm, people don't regain their speech back as quickly as you did, or their memory, they lose a certain degree of memory." And so that's why I encourage you, and I try to do different things. I play games and I do things that cause me to stimulate the brain. So I encourage each of you to do the same thing, okay? All right. Liz says, "We need to exercise our mind." I totally agree with you with what you just said. Remember, our papers were called research papers. Today we just some of the work I see people do, Liz, I'm sitting up there scratching my head like, really? And you turn this in? And it's such shabby. I don't see people taking pride in what they do and how they do it. And I feel like all of that falls behind these gadgets, and everything is so microwavable and instantaneous, and so with that degree, it just comes out, and it's easy. It's very, very easy to just, throw something together and call it great. Throw something together and, oh, that's my work. No. Even, and what I found when I first started doing this, I would put posts up, and a lot of things were original. And I would, in several days later, I would see my same work with maybe 2 words changed. And I'm like, really? You couldn't just share my work? You just gonna take my words? It's funny, but it's also hurt me when things like that happen. So, but this is the day and time. This is the day and time that we deal with each and every day. So, all right, let's move on to another question. Unless there's something you got, but please type on in. We will jump right in. Can you ladies go without your cell phone? Can you go without your cell phone? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. Can you go without your cell phone? And I don't know if you've noticed it. You haven't seen me on social media a lot. And so I stepped away. And so, but all the things that you've probably seen happening is because of my team going on. But if you see activity, it's because of my team. But I have really stepped away for some days. So, but I have a question that's coming up behind it. So, can you ladies do without your cell phone? So, if I were to come and take it, would you go into a panic attack? I seen somebody do that, so. And I asked that because of the fact that, let me see. It would be hard, Angela. Liz say she can. I can see Liz walked downstairs and say she forget about it. It's upstairs, so it's like never in the same place that she is in. It would be hard. But the reason why I threw that question in there, I wanted to share with you. Remember how I'm always saying, get somewhere and get in a quiet zone and think about who you are. And that was one of the things that I did also, that I do. And every time I give you a check to give you something, I always try it myself. And so getting in an area, separation from and disconnecting from things, it forces you to hear yourself. It forces you to think. And when you first get started thinking and dealing with yourself, you're thinking about everything that you need to do that's connected to your phone. You're thinking about everything that needs to be done, and or worrying about who's contacting you or who's sending you something or what's going on in social media. So I encourage you to try that. You don't have to, I'm not asking everybody to take away your phone, but try, maybe an hour, if you can. Try separating yourself for an hour and just observe how you react from not having your cell phone. Try separating for an hour and see how you react and what thoughts go through your head. Now, I ask you to do that to, more so as a self-observation, just strictly a self-observation. Now, I think we touched on now. What are some of the reasons why you cannot go without a cell phone? As you communicate before cell phone. I'm sorry, guys. I lost my train of thought on my notes. Okay, what are the advantages of a cell phone? Do you find yourself living, baby? Now, oh yeah, this is the other one. This is a good one, guys. And you're gonna, you might have noticed somebody. I don't know what, but on my last question I want to have, because I think we got like 15 minutes. Do you find yourself living vivaciously through the lives that others project on social media? Do you find yourself living vivaciously through the lives that others project on social media until you have completely lost your own personal identity? I threw that last part in there. I'll come back into it and describe it. But just say, for instance, if you notice, so many people live for Facebook. They live for Instagram. They live for whatever the other, Twitter and all those other social sites. And the key part of it is to know what other people are doing. The other people could be their friends that's on their list. The other people are people that they just add on, because I do know people that their aim were to get a certain amount of people. They don't know who these people are, do not have a relationship with them. Excuse me. And so their aim is to have a ton of people on their social media site. Liz say, I need stuff on social media, but getting ready to do as you say thanks, Liz. Definitely try it and just analyze yourself, because and I'm asking about find yourself living vivaciously through social media is because I've seen, I don't know, and God knows I don't know their name or anything, but Real Housewives of Atlanta, New Jersey, all of these different people. I was having a conversation with someone, and this particular person could tell me everything about different people's lives on these shows and all the things that they were saying on social media. And they were like, oh girl, I'm going to get this here, so-and-so had this here. And I'm like, she's like, yeah, I be following her and I reach out to her and I'm talking to her. And it was like me and my girlfriends on Friday having lunch together. That conversation was like deep. Like they're having an intense conversation, an intense relationship. And I'm thinking, do she really know you? Do she really have a relationship with you? And he was like, oh, you don't watch it. You need to be watching her. And I'm like, but what am I going to get if I'm watching her? How is that going to benefit me? What value is she going to bring to me? Now, I don't. When I say value, I'm not talking about me taking my money and helping her to stay on social media. I'm talking about what is she bringing to me. And so I thought that was so amazing. I still think it's so amazing when I see, and it's not just that particular person. I'm so connected with other people who do the same thing. And a lot of us, we see now when I say, let me back up, ladies. I have to use social media there, and when you get into, if you are in business or you're planning on getting into business, you will have to do it as well. Yeah, Angela, I don't do drama. I do not do drama whatsoever. And if it get to that point, it's time for me to separate. But I do know people, like, you know, with the things that I do, I have to be connected to social media. There are people all over that I'm thankful who join Rediscover Me, and so so this is how we connect. But I don't ever want to get to the point where people are living vivaciously through Juanita, or thinking, wow, Juanita got such a life. And because all of that is false, it's fictitious. And so that's the thing that's what I was grasping. So, you know, do you guys see that in your circle, in your social circle? Do you see people doing things such as that? And everything, and you know, even now, I don't take that like, there are things that you can connect with through social media that are good for you. And but you know, but how far is too far? You know, how far too far? How far is too far with the phones? How far is too far with social media and all? So now, Angela, you came in on the last part of this here. And so I want to go back and throw this one out. And Tiffany and Liz and I talked about this. Have you ever had a guy to try to date you through the cell phone? Liz says no. I don't have it bad like that, and I will not allow myself to get that. Hey, Miss Gray, you know what? We were talking about you. Hold on, I'm coming back. Elizabeth Hall says no. I do not have it bad like that, and will not allow myself to get that into it where I am trying to emulate anyone. You know, Anita, it took me years to even get on Facebook. It has been a little under 2 years. Yeah. Well, I'm not messing with my guy. Yeah, Liz, I agree with you. It's just connecting to something like that is just, you know, and for us, when we got on social media, we got on it because all of our family was in Alabama, and it was just much cheaper to post pictures on social media, so that way the Alabama family could see the kids, and instead of having to, you know, take a picture, print the picture, mail the picture, you know, that became very expensive. And so it was just much easier. But we have like I have the Rediscover Me community open, but my personal page, it got shut down. And that's why we transitioned everybody to the Rediscover Me page, because we wanted to keep the personal page just that, personal. And so but it's crazy. So Miss Patricia, how are you? I'm so glad to see you on here. My heart, I hope you're gonna be in church tomorrow so I can give you a hug. But yeah, it's amazing. Now we already named several things that have anybody ever got a crazy text message? Now don't put this up here. Think about it and only tell us the nice parts. Have anybody gotten anything crazy, any crazy text messages that was meant for somebody else? Has anybody gotten anything crazy? I, for one, got I got one from somebody, and the person was texting somebody else, and they sent it to me. And so, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. And so when I got it, I'm looking at them like, okay, was this statement meant for me? And they was like, no, it was meant for so-and-so. And so my thing was, how can I really believe that person when, you know, you're behind? It goes back again to what Mrs. Tiffany was saying, you know, that bullying and that sending those nasty messages behind other people. You know, can that, you know, I don't know to what degree he was real saying to me. Yeah, you know, saying to me. And so, you know, when you say something to me, I'm going to respond. That's just how I am. I'm going to respond. But people do that. And they come in and they say all of these things. So, Miss Pat, I asked the question earlier, and I was like, God, Miss Pat need to be on here. When we were talking about have we, you know, to what degree are cell phones being abused in the church? And I have to laugh because I think about all what we be doing, how we are in church with that darn cell phone. And taking pictures and texting and all. So, but I told the ladies that you're the one that's on the other end getting us, you know, tapping us and like, y'all better get it together. You know, you're not supposed to be doing that. All right. Well, ladies, we are down to 7 minutes. We are down to 7 minutes. So we finished this one up. All right, I think I've kind of covered everything that I pulled out. I didn't pull any data. I intentionally didn't. Yes, Miss Pat, we are a hot mess. But I guess the thing is, I do ask everyone to try 1 hour to separate, and not to separate for the purpose of just staying away from the phone, but separate from the phone and see how your mind react from not having that phone. How your mind, you know, what thoughts go through your mind. And I guess the biggest thing that I'm looking at is, are you being controlled mentally because of a gadget? You know, are you being controlled mentally because of a gadget? And so we are, because we're noticing it. It's just like kids are fighting over cell phones. They're going crazy over cell phones. Okay. All right, I can do it, Angela. Can you? No phones in church tomorrow. I can do it. I can definitely do it. So, but yes, we can definitely do it. I know Miss Pat can go without it. So, I guess that's our challenge for tomorrow. That's our challenge for tomorrow. No phones. Yes, we can do that. All right, Liz and Miss Tiffany, are y'all agreeing with that little challenge? No phones in church tomorrow? Y'all probably don't have that issue. It's probably just us. Wow. But yes. But I got to leave. Oh. You don't have to leave your phone at home, Angela. You can bring your phone. You just can't use it in church. So you have to be nice. All right, just bring me on out, Miss Pat. I see you. Now let's go back to this. Before we got 5 minutes. Kids, our children, and cell phones. Have you noticed how smart they are with these gadgets? Man, they just take over and just do every little tiny thing. And I'm like, wow. I think that's an advantage, but it's also a disadvantage. You know, the cell phone and kids are an advantage and a disadvantage. I see y'all bringing me out. I'm sorry. And half the time it's business. So that's another disadvantage, because when you have cell phones, why is there no cutoff time? There is no cutoff time, because people know that they can. Hi, Miss Gary, how are you? But yeah, with that, having that cell phone, people are so attached to you, and you can't even get away from them. And so, and that is one of my things. I find people texting me on Sunday, and Sunday to me is a day of rest. Leave me alone. And so, Brown. I'm going back to Elizabeth Davis, and she said we need to have time to meditate and get in touch with ourselves. And yes, we as people are controlled by these. Yes. I never take my phone to church. You don't, Liz? How? How do you get away from not having your phone? I'm curious on this one here, ladies. I might go a little bit over. How do you, how do you go without having to do? Because I don't know why. I think my children got me programmed. Now that I'm thinking about it, I may be wrong, but I think my children got me programmed. Angela says, keep watching, Kathy. We have a lot of... Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. But Liz, please share with us. How do you go without it? I have to ask that one. And I know I'm not addicted to a lot of things, but I find myself being attached to this phone all the time. And I'm everywhere I'm moving, the phone is in my hand. I mean, it's like, it's stuck. Yeah, it's just, and we, that's a habit that I'm going to break. I'm going to break that habit. I can't have that. Well, you know what? Let me not speak too soon. I'm going to try to manage it much better. I'm going to say that. Because some days I fall asleep texting people or creating some type of design for somebody. So I am going to be conscientious of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and then work to do better. So I hope that you ladies have came up with a goal for yours and checking it out, just to make certain that we are we're not walking around like this here all the time. Oh my goodness. But yeah, and going back to what I was saying about our children, have you noticed how they are attached to it? They are beginning to be, or they are obsessed with the phone as well. And I think the first time that I seen and knew about that, my daughter was stationed in Italy. And when she went into the service, she said, she was coming back. She called home and she was like, man, Mama, you would be amazed at how many little children are walking around with cell phones. And I was like, nah, that ain't true. She was like, yes. Yeah, they are, Angela. They are very bad for your eyes. So you have to be careful with that. But yeah, she was telling me how children in Italy, in Italy, little kids were walking around, book bags and cell phones. And so now here in America, book bags and cell phones. That's our kids. They're attached to it. And then they turn cartwheels with the teacher when they can't have a cell phone. And it's like, wow, we are too much. Miss Patricia say, my cell phone caused me 6 hours of jail. Caused me 6 hours of jail time because hackers had access to it and set me up. They can be bad and good. It depends. Wow, I never thought about that. I know I think about hackers on my laptop, Miss Pat, but I never thought about it on the cell phone. 6 hours in jail. Wow, you need to tell us more about that. Liz says, it doesn't bother me not to have my phone. If I have a missed call, I return it whenever I see it. I've never been one to carry a phone around. I'm going to tell you, Liz, I need that, because it's like, even now, and the girls just gave me a new phone. And so they're like, well, you're going to be doing this and you need this new phone. And I'm like, I just got a new phone. Why do I need to get a new phone, get another one? And so it's like all of a sudden, and I can understand Mika, because she's more technical and she deals with all of these, that's her field. But to me, it's like, it's more stuff to learn. It is more stuff to learn. I don't want to add any more to my plate. So, because I don't even know how to work this thing here I have already. It's like I can make a phone call and I can get to my Google account. And I'm good. All right, ladies. Miss Pat threw out something, and it's 10:02, so I'm gonna try to get ready to wrap it up. But Miss Pat threw something out here, and I hope she's typed. She can chime in as to how this happened. But I never personally thought about your phone being hacked. It is a computer, and so therefore there are possibilities. But I'm asking her to just chime in and tell us about what occurred, if to what degree you can share, so that way we can actually protect ourselves with our phone, because that's crazy to have to spend time in jail because of a phone. Angela said, but you have to remember, because of the cell phone, bad cops wouldn't be caught. That is an advantage, and I do take that into consideration. That is very good. We need things such as that, and that's why I say there are good and bad. And I'm just looking at to what degree do we take it to where the cell phone is causing us to lose out on who we are. It's taking our identity. It's forcing us to be so confined to this thing. And then, like that last question I asked, how are we living vivaciously through somebody else's life because of a cell phone, and social media? So those things do, it has its place, but then do we allow that place to control us? Going back to Miss Patricia Gregg says, I went to court and was found not guilty by a unanimous decision. Good. But Miss Pat, what I'm asking is, what was, what caused it, for him to, what was he doing? I know some people use their phones for their business accounts, and, they can tap into their bank accounts. They can tap into, their own personal emails and things. So was it something such as that we need to be concerned about, or or what? So those are, that's where I'm at with that. Just curious, if that played a factor. But I will, if you don't get it all typed in, I'll just finish typing it in. I'm going to get ready to close out, and because we got church tomorrow. And so, just, everybody that's on here can go back and read the messages, and those that view this video afterwards will still be able to view in the Rediscover Me community, but not when they transfer over to YouTube or any other social media sites. But yes, I am thankful for having this conversation, because guess what? We definitely need to take into consideration to be conscientious of how watch us on cell. Some people think they can. Well, Angela, that was one of the things I pointed out, about how cell phones, people are using the cell phones to invade our privacy. I don't think you actually came in on that one, but when you think about it, people, we could be sitting in a restaurant, we could be out shopping, we could be doing something, and all of a sudden people just pick up the phone and start filming us. So you're taking my privacy. You're just invading it and just taking it and then plastering it on social media. That's not cool. Miss Gregg said it started with people calling with fraudulent accusations from legal places like SENG, City of Columbia, calling. Okay. And and I know, especially around the holidays, Miss Gregg, we get a lot of that going on, and people target just specific groups to do those scams, and so it's amazing. It is amazing. It really is amazing. So that people do that and all. So wow. But I see. I didn't see Jessica, Angela, but I see you saying, hey, Jessica, if she's on here, hi, sweetie. But yeah, so I encourage everyone to be conscientious of yourself on your cell phone. Please do not allow it to take control over you. Use it for the advantage part, not the disadvantage parts. And And take what Miss Pat said and be very, hey Jessica, I miss you. You say you need more time. Well, I only prepared just a little bit more. So Jessica, how was your day? Church without, yes. Oh yeah, thank you, Liz. Church without cell phones tomorrow, ladies. Next topic. Thanks for a wonderful night. Thank you, Liz, for joining us. Yeah, no cell phones tomorrow in church, so we can't do that. But all right, guys, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And Angela, we're gonna have to, y'all send me some topics because I haven't put anything together for next week. But if there's something specific that you want to dance, oh man, yes. But if there's anything specific you guys want to talk about, hey, shoot me a message. If there's something interesting, I'll do research on it and we'll have a good conversation about it. Okay. But with that being said, hey guys, have a wonderful night. Get plenty of rest. Have a great day tomorrow in church. Be positive. Encourage someone. Be respectful. Remember that our Heavenly Father loves you, and so do I. Good night, everybody. Thanks, Miss Greg, for all your help. We appreciate it.